Good afternoon and welcome to News 9. I'm Nolan Pinto. Now, meanwhile, thousands of ABVP activists have gathered today at the Freedom Park and demanded justice for the 6-year-old rape victim. In fact, we saw the ABVP activists coming out in huge numbers on Monday outside the school premises. We saw the clash that took place between the activists belonging to ABVP and also the police. And that many of the activists were also injured. Now, many of the activists wanted to barge inside the school and question the management. The police had made sure in the morning itself that they come out in huge numbers in order to stop whatever the activists wanted to do. That has not stopped them. The activists have once more come out, but this time to Freedom Park, and the numbers are humongous. In fact, what we saw that day was about 500 to 1,000. Today, they are more than 3,000-4,000. In fact, it looks like that. It's a sea of humanity over there, a sea of protesters at Freedom Park, all waving the ABVP flag. Well, for more on this, I'm joined by my colleague Bansi from Freedom Park. Bansi, can you just tell us what's happening over there?
Well, Nolan, the march has moved from the Freedom Park. They are now near the JDS office. This is the bunch of protesters. Now they have moved from near the Freedom Park towards the JDS, which is roughly about a kilometer away. Now they have come marching down, and here you see this huge number of policemen. The policemen meeting them here. Some of their leaders have been detained, taken into custody. Now the protesters, for the moment, there is a little bit of confusion because the protesters are saying they are calling it off. Again, there is a little bit of a demonstration. Some of their leaders have been arrested. They are seeking for an audience with the Chief Minister. They are urging the government to do something drastic about rapes. They are saying that rapes across the city, across the state have continued relentlessly. They are asking for an end to rape. And here they are, these students out here engaging the police in this standoff. This standoff has lasted almost 30 minutes. The students and others who are protesting, chanting slogans against the government, against the authorities, seeking that something drastic be done against the rapists, against this issue of rape. But they are alleging that the government is not doing enough. They are alleging that the Chief Minister is sleeping. They are alleging the government is inactive. So therefore, the standoff continues. Although twice they said it would end for the day, and they would then rally around another day. But now the protest still continuing. The protesters seeking to engage with the police. There is no way that this can continue. One of the sides will have to blink. Who will blink first is a big question, Nolan.
Now, Bansi, what are their major demands? Because one demand is that they want to meet the Chief Minister. They want the Chief Minister to come out with steps to stop these increasing rape incidents in the city and the state. What are their other demands?
Well, their primary demand is to make Bengaluru and the state and the rest of the state safe for women. They are asking for drastic action against rapists. They are asking for the police to be very vigilant against rapists. Now they are also asking for an audience with the Chief Minister, Mr. Siddaramaiah, seeking to press all these demands. Some of their leaders were picked up and taken into vehicles nearby by the group of police. Now, especially one of their general secretaries was picked up and taken away by the police using great deal of force. Now, the remaining persons, a few others also were picked up by the police and removed from here. Now, mostly these are all students. All these are women students, and to arrest them is not possible for men. So therefore, you see a group of women policemen in the first circle. The immediate periphery is a group of women policemen who are all waiting to pick them up and take them away. Because under the law, a woman, protesting woman, cannot be arrested by a male policeman. So therefore you see this huge number of women policemen out here, both officers and constables, waiting to arrest them. Now this standoff has continued for about a little more than 30 minutes, with the group of students raising slogans against the police, and the police watching. What they want is a safe Bengaluru, a safe state, and for the police, the protesters are not really coming against them. They are just sitting and waiting for the police to arrest them first. Well, that is not happening, so the standoff continues.
Well, in fact, it looks like the police have learned from a mistake, because if you remember, Bansi, on Monday, the ABVP activists who protested outside Vibgyor High, the women activists over there stated that they were pushed and shoved by basically the police over there, men. So this time around, the police have actually brought in home guards and women constables in large numbers, so that the ABVP activists cannot come out with those allegations.
Absolutely, absolutely, Nolan. Now, this entire standoff that we are seeing, the primary issue has been the issue of rape, the issue of incidents of violence against women, the incidents of abuse against women. So, especially this entire protest is to highlight this failing of the government. Now, why they gathered here in such huge numbers? Earlier, about more than 1,000 plus women had gathered. Now, the numbers have dwindled. If you look at the groups of protesters, we don't have 1,000 here. We may have about a little over 250 or 300 women. The number is dwindling, but their fervor and enthusiasm has not dwindled. They are calling for action. They are calling for drastic action against the rapists. They are calling for something the government does in a way that will deter the rapists. Will the government now act? That is the question, because the government, so far, the protesters are alleging the government is inactive. They have even shown, they have even asked Siddaramaiah to wake up from his slumber. Now, will Siddaramaiah and the government act? Can they do something drastic? Can they end these incidents of rape? Is the question, Nolan.
Now, Bansi, is it possible to speak to one of those protesters over there? Because, and we also wonder whether they know that the chairman of that school has been arrested.
Well, would be difficult to reach the protesters. Let's see, we will try and get to some of those protesters. But now the protesters really engaging in they are trying to engage the police. One of their leaders is standing there wearing a striped shirt. Now, what can the police do? We will have to wait and see, because this is something which is where the students are quite charged up. They want some real answers from the police, from the government, from the chief minister. Will the protesters back off? Will they now look for some kind of a response before they back off? We will have to wait for this. We will meantime get to one of the protesters. Let's see if we can get them on Nolan.
Right, Bansi, now considering that they have blocked the roads, what exactly is the traffic situation over there?
Traffic situation is, Nolan, you can see this road is barricaded. This road is completely barricaded. You can see the barricades here. So all the traffic from the racecourse side going towards Freedom Park will have to take a longish detour. They would have to go on the other side. That is a little long. Traffic also on the other side has stopped. You can see the traffic even on the other side. That entire road is being used by vehicles, mostly of the media and of the police, to park. So nothing on the other side. The entire road is barricaded. This is the road just beside the JDS. Now we will show you the JDS office bearers who are up there. Some of them office bearers, some of them members of the JDS, watching from the other side. And there are of course many bystanders. Some of the bystanders just mutely watching. These are all bystanders here, who you see here. These are all bystanders watching what is happening, even as the standoff continues, Nolan.
Right, Bansi, I'm going to place you on hold there for a moment. In fact, this is what it was earlier on when the women protesters over there wanted to actually storm the roads. The police this time brought in a lot of women personnel